hypocrisy in that. Okay? Let's go to Matthew 19:18. Matthew 19:18. We're going to switch gears here for a second. So, Black Lives Matter do not protest against abortion. Therefore, they're hypocritical and they cannot speak for me.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 18. He saith unto them, which Jesus said, thou shalt not do no
So
murder.
this is the rich man. He asks, what do I have to do to be saved? We know that. I just want to go to verse 18 and get one thing out of there.
Jesus said, thou shalt do no murder.
That's the first thing Christ said. Thou shalt do no murder, whether it is at the hands of cops, whether it is abortion, or whether it's black on black crime. See, I hate all equally, not just one. I don't pick and choose the one, the flavor of the day or whatever the people stand. I'm against all deaths and murders of my people, all of them. At the hands of my own people or at the hands of somebody else, it's all the same to me. It's wicked as hell, and you need to be punished for that. I'm against all murders of my people, okay? So the Lord says, do no murder, Titus 3:3.
The book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 3.
Come on.
For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish.
Yes. We were all foolish at some point. Yes, some of us come from gangs. Some of us come from drugs. Some of us come from adultery, fornication, you name it. We were all sometime foolish. Maybe you made that mistake. Sure, I get it. And the Lord says he'll forgive you because once you repent, you're a new creature. But you can't lose sight. At some point, we were all foolish. And this is not to make anybody's sin no greater than nobody else's. This is just the truth. We were all foolish at one point. Come on.
Disobedient.
We were all disobedient to God.
Deceived.
We were deceived, thinking that this is the way to live.
Serving diverse lusts and pleasures.
Serving diverse lusts and pleasures. Like we went to Molech, Baal, Feast of Bacchus, all these different lusts and pleasures we had. We served all those things. Bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, Mardi Gras. We did all those things. Carnival, we did it all. Come on.
Living in malice and envy.
We lived in malice and envy.
Hateful and hating one another.
We were so hateful and hating one another. And that leads me to the next point why Black Lives Matter don't speak to me, because to Black Lives Matters, Black lives don't matter to them. Okay? That's the title. Black lives don't matter to black people, which leads me to the next point, which is black on black crime. Not once do Black Lives Matter protest black on black crime. Just this past weekend, it was like 20-something people murdered in Chicago. All black on black crime, not a single march for that. Okay? But they mobilizing about this one cop. Okay? But nobody's mobilizing about the 20-plus murders that took place in Chicago this past weekend. Not one.
Except the Israelites.
Except the Israelites. Because they're hypocritical, but we're not. We say all of our lives are important. All of Israelite lives are important. All Israelite lives matter. But nobody's talking. It's not even on the news. They're not even talking about that. Because it's a hypocritical organization. All right? Now, did we finish Titus 3 and 3? We did, right?
Yes.
Let's go to John 11:45.
The book of John, chapter 11 and verse 45.
Through 48.
Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Jesus did believed on him.
Now, listen, I'm going to hit y'all with something heavy right now, okay? I'm going to hit y'all with something heavy right now, right? So read that again.
Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Jesus did believed on him.
Hey, so guess what? At this point, people see the miracles Christ is doing, and a lot of people are starting to believe on Christ. Like, man, we believe in this cat. Read on.
But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Jesus had done.
Remember we read in Titus 3 and 3, hating one another. It's like, look, man, Christ making all these miracles and doing this and blah, blah, blah. Man, I don't like this cat, man. Read on.
Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees.
Now let's see if our chief priests and Pharisees says, hey, listen, man, you murmuring about Christ, you hypocritical, you hating your own brother. Let's see if they shut him down.
Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles.
So what should we do? We listen to what everybody's saying. We seen what he's doing.
If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him.
If we just let him keep doing what he's doing, everybody's going to believe on him.
And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
They're going to come take away our, remember we priests and all this, we sitting high, we got good jobs, making good money, we're over the people. But if Christ keep doing this, we're going to be on a lower level. We're going to have to serve under him. So we can't let this ride. Now drop down to verse 53. Here, I told you I'm going to hit you with something hard.
Verse 53. Then from that day forth.
From that day forth. This is the priest now and the Pharisees. This is the high ranking. These are your TD Jakes. These are your Creflo Dollars. These are your people with high positions. What they say?
They took counsel together for to put him to death.
See that? They said, no, we got to put this Negro to death. Why do you think your TD Jakes, your Creflo Dollars, they do everything they can to either not talk about us, to discredit us, and join forces with Esau and say, you know what, yeah, they're a hate group, they're a cult, they're this, they're that. They don't want to lose their position. Ain't nothing changed. Read it again.
Then from that day forth, they took counsel together.
Now these priests, you know, these Pharisees, these are Negroes. These are black. These are black men, okay, going up against other so-called black men. All right, this is black on black. What they say?
They took counsel together for to put him to death.
They said, we got to put this cat to death. We got to kill Christ. We have to kill Christ. All right, now, I told you I'm hit you with something heavy. Just hold that point. Matthew 27, 15 through 20. Matthew 27, 15 through 20. I'm going to make my point. That's going to be heavy here in a second. Matthew 15, you probably might be picking up what I'm putting down. Matthew 27, 15 through 20.
The book of Matthew, chapter 27 and verse 15
through 20.
Now at that feast, the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner, whom they would. And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas.
Barabbas was a notable prisoner, meaning Barabbas was causing havoc in the community. Barabbas was somebody they couldn't wait to put to death because he was a notable criminal.
He was on the FBI most wanted list.
Most wanted list. We got to get this cat. Remember how Osama bin Laden was everywhere when the towers struck? They had to get this cat? That's what Barabbas was. He was notable.
And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, whom will ye that I release unto you? Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ?
So he says, look, I got this notable criminal that we all know is evil and wicked as hell. You want me to free him, or you want me to free Christ, the man that, you know, didn't do no sin? Like, there's no real charges against him. Which one y'all want me to set free? Read on.
For he knew that for envy they had delivered them.
Because he knew y'all only brought Christ because y'all envy him. These priests, these Pharisees, and all the people that's behind and support them. Come on.
They knew that for envy they had delivered him.
For he knew.
Excuse me. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, have thou nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him.
He says, look, I don't want nothing to do with that just man, Christ. And I've been having dreams and I've been nightmares behind this guy right here. So I really want to set him free. Read on.
Verse 20. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Jesus.
They said, look, this is a chief priest that had a chance to say, you know what? We wrong. We off. This is our brother right here. But the chief priests, how wicked they was, they said, look, I'd rather y'all free a known criminal. And I want you to kill Christ. These are the priests. These is his own brother. So when Christ says you're going to be hated of all men, it's going to start with your own brother, your own sisters. And I want y'all to think about this. Which of our prophets in the New Testament are disciples of Christ that was killed where black people wasn't involved in it? Think about that. Who killed our prophets? Who had Christ killed? Black on black. Our own people. Today it'll be the same way. It's going to be the same way. We keep turning up the fire on this nation. It's going to be our own people that turn us in. Our own people that want us dead. Just like Christ, just like the disciples. Think about that. That's black on black crime right there. All our prophets, all our disciples, back then, I'm talking about during Christ and his disciples, they was all put to death at the hands of other Negroes, black people. Black on black crime. Black Lives Matter. Don't protest against that. Let's go to Proverbs 1:10-19.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 10. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 10.
And we're going to go through 19. Let's read it kind of quick.
My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
Now, this is gang violence right here, right? So we had gangs back then, too. If sinners entice you, how do we know this is gang violence? Well, let's read on.
If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy light among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives.
This is like drive-by shooting. This is like setting up somebody for murder, all that type of stuff. And why do they do that? Read on.
So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain.
Because, hey, they on my block. I gotta take over their operation. They selling drugs over. I need to take their block and sell so my drugs can sell. Or they over here. We got to push that line. They shot us. We got to go back and get them. It's a drive-by. I don't care if we shoot innocent people as long as we get them. This is black on black crime right here. Read on.
So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof.
You see that? Greedy of gain. They take away the life. They don't care. Remember? And if you tell, snitches get stitches. No rats. No this, no that. That's what black on black crime is. That started. This been going on. But Black Lives Matter don't protest that. Like I said, in Chicago, we had 20 plus people murdered there this past weekend. Not one march for them. Not one article. Not nothing about Black Lives Matter saying we got to stop this. Go to that article I got. The need to discuss black on black crime.
The need to discuss black on black crime. Thomas Abbott's book, Bleeding Out 2019, has garnered a fair amount of attention for its proposals to deal with gun violence in mainly black urban neighborhoods. The entire focus of the book is on interventions is high crime locations to stem the violence, including hotspots policing, working with young males at high risk of engaging in violence by offering carrots, we're here to help you, and sticks, we'll stop you if you don't let us help, and locking up known violent offenders. Lest you think that this book is not about black crime, Albert states quite explicitly that race matters when it comes to urban violence. He points out that homicide victimization rates for black men were 3.9 times the national average, and that 52% of all known homicide victims were black. 2017 data.
52% of all homicide victims were black. Okay.
He might have added that the perpetrators of these crimes were overwhelmingly African Americans. In 2008,
this is 2018, y'all. Listen to this.
Excuse me. In 2018, where the homicide victim was black, the suspected killer also was 88% of the time.
Listen, let's just stop there with that article. 88% of the time. We can take the article down, just interest of time. When a black man or woman is killed, it's at the hands of another black man. 88% of the time. Where's Black Lives Matter on that matter right there? Where are they at? You know where they at? It's like where's Waldo? Can't find him. Can't find Waldo. So you say Black Lives Matter. Where you at on abortion? Oh, we're not about that. 19 million babies aborted since 73. Oh, but we don't care about that. We care about that white cop who killed the brother. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Well, what about the 88% of the black people that's killed at the hands of another black man? Where you stand on that matter? Oh, we're not here for that. Why not? Because we're about the cop who killed that. You see how hypocritical you sound? You see how stupid you sound? This is why Black Lives Matter, it cannot stand for you or for me. This is their own agenda, and it's something where they're pouring a lot of money into something, a problem that is a problem, but is so minute compared to our other problems. Black Lives Matter. And guess what? I haven't even touched the drug problem in our community. The drug dealers that's in your community selling drugs to your family members and stuff. I ain't even talked about that. Where's Black Lives Matter on that? Because when I walk out my door, I see drugs, I see young people on drugs. I see gang members. I see abortion clinics. When I say outside my house, I'm talking about my community. I see all those things before I even see a white cop. But you're addressing something that has that is a problem, but if you put it on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably 10 on our scale of 1 to 10 as far as things that kills us the most. Where's Black Lives Matter on the health and food that we eat, the poison in our community? Where's Black Lives Matter on Flint, Michigan's water being poisoned for over a year now? Where are they at? It's hypocritical. Say what, officer?
I was gonna say, why ain't they raising hell and looting over those issues?
Because their agenda is they want to be held hand. They want to hold hands with Esau. They don't care about black. Matter of fact, let's go back to the title of the class, shall we? The reason why they're not seen is because black lives don't matter to black people. That's the bottom line. Just in the prayers. With that, I pray y'all got something out of the class. Shalom, Israel. Happy Sabbath day. And I just want to close off with this right here. If y'all participated in any of those things, gangs, drugs, abortion, whatever before, your book's not over. It's not written yet. Remember 2 Corinthians 5:17. You are a new creature. Once you repented and came into Christ, you're a new creature. All those old things you've done is blotted out and is done away with. So with that, I want y'all to read 2 Corinthians 5:17. Don't feel bad. Just repent and do the right thing going forward.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.